It's almost perfect. If they can just fix this one thing, then I promise y'all, this watch here will be the one to get, no question. What up, squad? So it's now been 1 week since I got the Apple Watch Ultra here, and I've been testing this watch out, and I'm just gonna say this, y'all. Overall, it's a damn good watch, but it does have some things that I would personally like to see Apple change about it in the next gen. So let's go ahead and talk about all those things. Now, when I first got this watch here, y'all, there was some things and questions that I had where I was like, is this watch here too big? Or how is the display on this watch? Is the battery life any good? Or will it be like any other past Apple watches? Like, how is the new design having this flat display? Is the action button here on the side any good? All of this stuff we're getting ready to talk about. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the first question, y'all, and that is this watch here too big, and how is this display? First, y'all, I gotta say, y'all, this display right here is definitely the display that I feel Apple should have always given us. Like, literally, y'all, it is a super nice watch face to look at as well as interact with. Now, this display is the perfect kind of bright to me, meaning that if I'm ever in like direct sunlight or anything like that, it's always been easy to see as well as interact with, which is something that I love about this smartwatch. Now, usually I don't really care for square face watches, and I've told you guys that in the past, but the fact that they've kind of removed that whole rounded edge design and just went with this flat design, it literally changed my entire perspective about Apple watches in general. And I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that Apple is moving in this direction when it comes to their normal consumer smartwatches being like the Watch 8 or 7 series. Having this flat design here just almost makes it look like you rocking a mini iPad on your wrist. Now, the watch here, is it too big? I would actually say yes, and then I'm also gonna say no. Now, the reason why I say yes, y'all, is because I feel like if you guys have a smaller wrist and you kind of place this watch here, it might look a little big, it might look out of pocket, because I've seen a couple photos of people like rocking their Apple Watch Ultras, and it just kind of looks weird on smaller arms. Now, I think if you guys have a medium to large wrist, then this watch here is gonna look perfect. Now, the reason why I say no earlier is because I feel like this screen here is the perfect size for actually being able to interact with and actually use your smartwatch for more than just like reading the times and looking at notifications. The flat display being 49 millimeters, y'all, is perfect for typing a text, checking emails, and my favorite thing now that I find a nice little hack, and that is scrolling through Instagram and getting Twitter on your watch. And y'all, that's gonna be in my tips and tricks video, so definitely make sure y'all are subscribed and you got the notifications turned on for all of that, as well as you hit that thumbs up button, and that let me know y'all want to see that video. But overall, y'all, the screen on this watch here, on this Watch Ultra, y'all, is something amazing to look at. Like, it's so clear. Hey, y'all, my dog just came in. What up? Say what up to the people. Since you want to be in the video, come say what up. No, you can't get up. All right, but you gotta go. All right, so when it comes to build quality on this watch, I feel like this watch here is built to withstand anything. It's kind of crazy because the one thing like Apple I feel did a great job when it comes to this watch is the blend of like fashion as well as like durability. So what I mean by this, right, is how sometimes like durability and fashion, like, it just don't mix that well. Like when people put like ugly bulky cases on their iPhones, like them OtterBox cases, I promise y'all those were like the ugliest cases that's ever been made. But they will protect your phone, no question. But your phone would, like, I feel like it just loses all of its swag points in the same sense. But with the Watch Ultra, y'all, this watch here looks good while also being very durable in the same sense. And just in CKid fashion, y'all already know I definitely ended up hitting this bad boy up against the doorway. But I didn't scratch it. There's nothing, no scratches on the screen. There's no scratches on the frame or nothing like that. So I can say, y'all, I'm pretty confident that if you guys are like a high-end explorer, a diver, rock climber, hiker, or whatever, if you climb in Mount Kilimanjaro, then I don't think you're gonna have a problem with the durability of this watch looking fly. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the second question I was wondering with this watch, and that is the battery life. Y'all know we gotta talk about the battery life because I'm gonna be honest, Apple batteries in the past, when it comes to their smartwatches, we just gotta keep it a bean on here. It just hasn't been the best. Now, in my honest opinion, y'all, in testing this watch here, I used this watch over like a 3-day period where I just kind of did like a battery test, and I just did some over-the-top stuff and just to see if the battery will be good. Like, listen, y'all, on day one, I ended with like 75% of battery life. 712, and we got, so let me see here.
Got some
How much battery life we got? How much battery life we say we got right there?
78%.
78%. And what time is it? It's about 7:12.
7:12.
7:12.
And if you like Charlotte's Web, you should get this book. It's a really good book.
What she said. And then on day 2, I ended with like 49, 50%. And then on that third day, it got down to like 20%, which I still could have went on to the next day. Listen, y'all, depending on how you guys actually use your watch, I use mine for replying to text messaging, checking emails, using for direction, using Apple Maps. And the battery life is everything I've ever wanted out of an Apple Watch. Like, if I'm being honest, y'all, it's one of the major reasons why I personally left Apple to begin with when it comes to the smartwatches. But with this watch battery life here, y'all, I'm telling you, man, easily you getting 3 days minimum. Now, I will say this, if you guys are using Apple Maps, which is actually one of my concerns with this watch, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So I did a test where I set out a location that was like 20 minutes from me because I wanted to see how much battery life would actually drain on this watch with a 20-minute drive. And in my testing, y'all, it drained around like 5 to 6% of battery on a 20-minute drive. All right, so if I swipe up right here, y'all can see, if you can, if I can get it focused, we're sitting at 83%. Now, I will say, with Apple Maps, anytime you're using any type of like maps, anything like that, it is going to burn the battery life a little bit more than if you just do kind of your traditional everyday tasks, right? Because every time that it's pinging off of a tower or it's pinging off of a satellite to keep your location to know exactly where you guys are at, that's going to be taxing, right? So it will take a lot of battery life. And the fact that it took about 3 to 4% on battery life, I will say it's kind of a lot in just a short period of time versus the span of where I just spent a couple hours and it burned only down to like 86% from 9 something in the morning till about 5 o'clock. Now, that may not be that concerning to you, but it was kind of concerning to me because although I know like other watches like Galaxy Watch 5 Pro that uses GPS tracking is going to kill your battery. I get that. But I was actually hoping on a watch that was actually made for stuff like this when it comes to like hiking and just being adventurous and all that kind of stuff like that, that it wouldn't necessarily drain it that much in such a short period of time. Because y'all, hikers be hiking for like hours and using like your compass and setting waypoints and diving depths and all those kind of features. I feel like the longevity of the battery over time is kind of in question using those features. But, you know, I'm none of those types of people, so I mean, I can't necessarily test that, but just testing using GPS on this watch, burning 5 to 6% of battery life in just 20 minutes, you know, I don't know. We'll see. All right, y'all. So the next thing we got to talk about is watch bands real quick. Now, with this watch here, you do get the choice of like 3 different watch band styles. And I got to be honest with y'all, I don't like neither one of those. The one that I've been rocking here is the one I like it color-wise, and this is the Alpine Loop one. But if I'm being honest, y'all, it's not good when it comes to comfortability, y'all. I would actually say I would go with like an aftermarket band, or I would find like some other band like a leather band, like the ones that Apple sells. I think are good, and you can get those. It's going to be comfortable as well as going to last you for a long time as well. And for me, comfortability is everything. Now, if you're wondering, yes, you also can fit a 45mm Apple Watch band to this watch right here. So if you got any of your older silicone watch bands, it's going to work on this watch too. And it's going to be like just a small little gap, but it's not a gap that's going to be noticeable. Now, the next question I was curious about, and that is this action button that's right here on the side. Now, I love this action button and it's almost perfect. If they could just fix this one thing, I promise y'all this watch here would definitely, no question, be the one to get, and that is dealing with the placement of this action button. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the placement of this button, y'all, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and talk about this action button for a second. Now, they put on this watch an orange button that can be programmed to go ahead and start a timer, or you can start an exercise and stuff like that with just the press of one button without really having to go all into like your menus and all this different stuff like that just to get to it. Now, to me, y'all, that's actually dope. Now, you can also use to set it with shortcuts as well, which opens up like other possibilities with this button here. But when I actually tried to use shortcuts with this on the phone and try to set like different commands and stuff like that, I couldn't actually get anything to work with this action button. Now, maybe I just didn't figure it out, or it honestly could just be a feature where, you know, you can only use preset shortcuts that they have set for this button. But I also got to talk about the reason why I hate this button here, y'all, and that is because when I'm actually trying to press these buttons here on the other side, like the dial or this other button here, I end up accidentally pressing this action button, and like it's to the point where like I had to just like turn it off to the point where nothing would happen, because you can see here now when I press it, nothing happens, because I got tired of like all of the accidental touches when I would actually touch this action button by mistake. So I'm not sure if they can like move the action button someplace else, maybe putting it like up here at the top or something like that, but having it here on the side, y'all, is I don't know. It's too many accidental touches. Now, the last thing I want to share with y'all from my experience is answering the question, is this watch here for everybody? Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that think that this watch here is specifically for high-end sports players or thrill-seeking adventurous types of people, or even just like recreational divers. And for me, y'all, I would actually have to 100% disagree with that statement. I feel like this watch here is literally for everybody. Literally anybody who wants to experience what it's like having an Apple Watch that can give you multi-day battery usage. To me, y'all, that is like one of the hugest selling point with this watch. Also, I feel it's for anybody out there who wants a fresh redesign of a watch that I feel like the masses will love and having that amazing design. Now, is this watch here perfect? No, I don't think this watch is perfect, but I also don't think it's just for like adventure, thrill-seeking people too. I feel like the regular, everyday person can easily rock this watch and not feel any type of remorse or anything like that by not using all the features this watch is built for. Now, I mean, I don't really use all of the features that this watch was built for, but I can at least appreciate a good-looking smartwatch with a fresh redesign and a crazy battery life. So yeah, y'all, I got mixed feelings because I love circular watch face designs, but looking at this watch right here, y'all, I fell in love with it, y'all, and I don't really want to take it off my wrist if I'm just being honest, because this screen, y'all, it looks so damn good, y'all. Like, I don't know, we gonna have to see what happens, but as of right now, this is the watch I'm rocking on a daily for sure. Now, I hope this video helped y'all make an informed decision when it comes to this Apple Watch Ultra here, and boy, let me tell you, let me know in the comments what y'all think, because I know, you know, some people gonna have their way about, you know, saying what they want to say about this watch, but I'm gonna say this, unless you try it, look, I don't know if you can really comment that much on it, but like always, y'all, make your move and always remember your why, and I'll see y'all in the next one, squad. This watch is fire.